Welcome to Stoic Vibe. Thank you for being here. Today, let me ask you something powerful. Why do we allow others to have such control over our emotions? Why do we hand them the key to our inner peace so easily? Think about it. Every time you get angry because of what someone said or did, it is as if you are saying, "Here, take my peace. You have power over me." But what if you could take that power back? What if no one could disturb your calm no matter what? Today, you will learn how to master the art of never getting angry at anyone. It is simpler than you think. It all begins with understanding yourself first. The truth is, anger doesn't come from what others do. Anger comes from how we interpret what they do. It is not the external event, but our judgment of it, that creates the emotional storm inside us. This idea goes back to the wisdom of ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. They taught that events themselves are neutral. It is our opinion that labels them as good or bad, fair or unfair, offensive or respectful. If we remove our judgment, what's left? Just an event. Just a person acting according to their own nature, their own understanding, their own emotions. If you can see life this way, you free yourself from becoming a puppet pulled by every action and word around you. Imagine walking through a park and a dog barks loudly at you. Would you get angry at the dog? Probably not. You would understand, it's just a dog doing what dogs do. Now, what if a person insults you? Instantly, most people feel hurt or furious. But why? A person is just doing what they do, based on their experiences, emotions, and thoughts. Just like the dog barking, it's not about you. It's about them. If you can deeply realize this, you begin to untangle yourself from the endless chain of reactions that disturb your peace. Another way to master anger is to practice expectations. So much of our anger comes from expecting people to act a certain way. We expect them to be kind, respectful, understanding. And when they are not, we feel wronged. But what if you changed your expectations? Expect that people will sometimes be rude. Expect that misunderstandings will happen. Expect that not everyone will agree with you or treat you fairly. If you lower your expectations to match reality, you will rarely be surprised, and even less often will you be angry. This is not about becoming negative. It is about becoming realistic. And realism is a powerful shield against anger. One of the deepest teachings of Stoicism is remembering that we control our own minds, nothing else. Not the weather. Not other people. Not circumstances. Only our thoughts, our reactions, our choices. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead master yourself, anger loses its grip on you. Ask yourself, whenever you feel that fire rising, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Protect your energy like it is sacred. Because it is. Every minute you spend in anger is a minute stolen from your peace, your growth, your happiness. Why waste it? It also helps to see others with compassion instead of judgment. Someone who is rude is often someone who is hurting. Someone who lies is often someone who is afraid. When you start to see people as imperfect beings trying to survive their own battles, their actions stop feeling so personal. You realize that their behavior is a reflection of their own struggles, not a judgment of your worth. Compassion creates distance between you and anger. It reminds you that we are all human, stumbling and learning in our own way. Now, think about the bigger picture. When you get angry at someone, what does it really change? Does it fix the situation? Does it make you feel better? Or does it simply drain you and leave you feeling even worse? The truth is, anger rarely solves anything. It often makes problems bigger. But calmness, silence, and patience, these are powerful forces. They turn you into someone who is steady, someone who others respect and admire. Someone who is above the chaos, not dragged down into it. You don't need to respond to everything. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your defense. Silence is often the most powerful answer. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain calm, you show strength. You show that your peace is unshakable. And with every time you practice this, you become stronger. Your calm becomes natural. Your anger becomes weaker. Until one day, you realize, you have mastered the art of never getting angry at anyone. It takes practice. You will slip up sometimes. You will feel anger rise. That's normal. You are human. But the key is to notice it early. Breathe. Step back. Remind yourself, this is not worth my peace. Over time, these small moments of control build into a powerful inner discipline. One that no one can take away from you. You become the master of your mind. And when you master your mind, you master your life. When you start building this kind of emotional discipline, you begin to see life differently. You stop feeling like a victim of circumstances. You realize that you have a choice in every moment, the choice to react or the choice to remain still inside. Most people live their lives as reactors. Something happens, they react instantly. They get insulted, they get angry. They are praised, they feel happy. Their emotions are like leaves blowing in the wind, always at the mercy of whatever is happening around them. But you can choose to be different. You can choose to be the tree, not the leaf. Grounded, deeply rooted, unshaken by the storms of life. This is real strength. This is real freedom. Whenever you feel triggered by someone, remind yourself that your immediate emotional reaction is just a habit. It's not who you really are. It's just a pattern your mind has repeated many times. And like any habit, it can be changed. But it requires awareness first. You cannot change what you don't notice. So the next time you feel anger bubbling up, pause. Don't act immediately. Don't speak without thinking. Just notice the feeling. Observe it like a scientist observing an experiment. Where do you feel it in your body? What thoughts are racing through your mind? By watching your anger without feeding it, you weaken its power over you. The fire needs fuel to burn. If you don't feed it, it dies out on its own. Another important thing to understand is that anger is often a mask for other feelings. Beneath anger, there is often hurt, fear, sadness, disappointment. When someone says something cruel to you, the anger you feel may actually be hiding a deeper hurt. When someone disrespects you, the anger may be covering up the fear of being seen as weak. By looking deeper into your emotions, you get to know yourself better. You realize that the problem is not just the other person's behavior. It's the meaning you attach to it. It's the story you tell yourself about what it means. And when you can change that story, you can change your emotional response. For example, if someone ignores you, you could tell yourself a story that they don't care about you, that you are not important. This story would make you angry and hurt. But if you chose a different story, maybe they are busy, maybe they have their own struggles, you would feel understanding instead of anger. Same event, different story, completely different emotion. This is the real power you have. You may not control what happens, but you always control the meaning you give it. And meaning shapes emotion. It's also powerful to practice gratitude, even toward difficult people. This might sound strange, but every person who challenges your peace is giving you an opportunity to grow stronger. Without challenges, there is no growth. Just like muscles only grow when they are pushed against resistance, your mind only becomes stronger when it faces emotional challenges. Every rude person, every unfair situation, every irritating moment is a chance to practice patience, understanding, and self-mastery. If you see challenges this way, you start welcoming them instead of fearing them. You become grateful for the chance to practice your calmness, your wisdom, your strength. Think about a sword. A sword does not become sharp by being kept safe and unused. It becomes sharp by being tested, by being put through fire and hammering. In the same way, your mind becomes sharp, your character becomes strong, by facing and overcoming emotional challenges. Every time you choose calm over anger, you are sharpening your soul. You are becoming who you were meant to be, a person of true strength and peace. One more key is forgiveness. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness is not about saying that what they did was right. It's about choosing your peace over your pain. It's about saying, I refuse to carry this burden anymore. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It frees you from the chains of resentment and bitterness. And when you forgive, you are not being weak. You are being strong enough to let go and move on. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about your own inner freedom. Sometimes, people will not apologize. Sometimes, they will not change. But that's okay. You don't need their apology to be free. You don't need their understanding to move forward. Your peace does not depend on their actions. It depends on your choice. Always your choice. Every moment, every day. When you master your anger, you become dangerous in the best way. Not dangerous because you hurt others. Dangerous because you cannot be controlled. You are no longer easy to manipulate. You are no longer a puppet of your emotions. You become powerful, not because you dominate others, but because you dominate yourself. This kind of power is rare. It's quiet. It's calm. But it is unbreakable. And remember, it's a journey. Mastering your anger is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about being a little more patient today than you were yesterday. A little more understanding. A little more calm. Over time, these small steps create massive changes. You will look back one day and realize that situations that once made you furious no longer even disturb your peace. That's how you know you are growing. That's how you know you are mastering the art of never getting angry at anyone. One of the greatest secrets to never getting angry at anyone is understanding that everyone is living inside their own mind, their own fears, their own struggles. When people are rude, mean, disrespectful, it often says more about what is happening inside of them than about you. Happy people do not try to hurt others. Peaceful people do not go out of their way to cause harm. It is usually hurt people who hurt people. When you remember this, it becomes easier to feel compassion instead of anger. You stop taking things personally. You start seeing that their behavior is a reflection of their own battles, not a measure of your worth. Imagine someone shouting at you on the street. You could get angry, shout back, and let it ruin your day. Or you could realize that maybe this person has had a terrible day. Maybe they are carrying pain you cannot see. Maybe they are acting out of fear, sadness, or stress. When you view them through this lens, your natural response is not anger but understanding. And understanding leads to inner peace. It doesn't mean you allow people to mistreat you. It means you protect your peace by refusing to let their pain become your pain. Another important mindset is to expect that challenges will come. Many people get angry because they expect life to be smooth and people to behave perfectly. But this is not reality. Life is unpredictable. People are imperfect. If you expect perfection, you set yourself up for constant disappointment and frustration. But if you expect imperfection, if you accept that life will bring tests and people will sometimes fail you, then you are prepared. You are not surprised when difficulties come. You meet them with calmness because you expected them. This shift in mindset alone can save you from so much unnecessary anger. The ancient Stoics had a practice called premeditatio malorum, which means premeditation of evils. They would imagine ahead of time all the things that could go wrong, insults, losses, challenges, not to become negative, but to be ready. So when something bad happened, they would not be shaken. They had already prepared their mind. You can use this practice too. In the morning, you can remind yourself, today, I may face rudeness, delays, misunderstandings. But I will remain calm. I will not let these things steal my peace. By doing this, you build a shield around your mind. You walk into the day prepared, not reactive. It's also helpful to keep a bigger perspective. Most of the things we get angry about are small when viewed from a distance. Think about it. Will this thing that upset you today matter in a week? In a month? In a year? Most of the time, the answer is no. We waste so much energy on things that are temporary, forgetting the bigger picture. Life is short. Our time here is limited. Is it really worth spending precious moments angry over something that will soon be forgotten? When you keep this perspective, you naturally let go of anger faster. You realize that peace is far more valuable than being right or getting revenge. Another powerful tool is breath. The breath is always with you, and it's always available to help you calm down. When you feel anger rising, focus on your breath. Slow it down. Deep, slow breaths tell your body and mind that you are safe, that you are in control. Even just a few deep breaths can create a space between stimulus and response, a space where you can choose wisdom over reaction. In that space, you reclaim your power. You are no longer a slave to emotions. You are the master of yourself. Sometimes people think that not getting angry means being passive or weak. But that's not true. Choosing not to get angry is not weakness. It's a sign of inner strength. It takes far more courage to stay calm when provoked than to explode in rage. Anyone can lose their temper. That's easy. But it takes real strength to remain calm, to stay centered, to respond with wisdom. True power is quiet, steady, and rooted. It does not need to shout to be heard. It does not need to strike to be strong. Also, remember that anger often comes from our own attachments and expectations. We get angry when reality does not match our desires. We expect people to treat us a certain way, and when they don't, we feel hurt and angry. We expect life to unfold according to our plans, and when it doesn't, we feel frustrated. But if you loosen your grip on expectations, if you accept life as it is rather than how you think it should be, you find peace. Acceptance does not mean you approve of everything. It means you stop fighting reality. And when you stop fighting reality, you stop suffering unnecessarily. One practice you can try is this. Whenever something doesn't go your way, instead of saying, "This shouldn't be happening," say, "This is happening, and I will meet it with strength." This small shift in language can change your whole experience. You stop resisting what is. You start flowing with life rather than against it. And in that flow, there is peace. There is power. And finally, give yourself patience. Mastering anger is a lifelong journey. You will not be perfect. You will have moments when you slip, when you react, when you lose your calm. That's okay. Every mistake is a lesson. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Be gentle with yourself as you walk this path. Celebrate your progress, however small. Remember that the goal is not to become a cold, emotionless person. The goal is to become a warm, wise, strong soul who chooses peace, even when chaos surrounds them. You are not your anger. You are not your reactions. You are the awareness behind them. And every time you choose to step into that awareness, every time you choose calm over chaos, you are strengthening your true self. You are mastering the art of never getting angry at anyone. When you begin to master the art of not getting angry at anyone, you notice that life feels lighter. It's as if you have been carrying a heavy backpack for years without knowing it, and now you have finally put it down. Without anger weighing you down, you move more freely. You can listen more deeply. You can speak more kindly. You can see more clearly. Relationships improve not because others have changed, but because you have changed the way you meet the world. Where once you might have responded with harsh words or cold silence, now you respond with calm understanding. And this not only brings you peace, it also influences the people around you. Calmness is powerful. It's contagious. Your peace can create peace in others. Over time, you realize that anger is often just a habit. It's a learned response, and like any habit, it can be unlearned. At first, you have to be very mindful. You catch yourself after you have already reacted. Then you start to catch yourself while you are reacting. And with more practice, you catch yourself before you react at all. You begin to feel the anger rising, and you smile gently at it, like an old friend you recognize but no longer have to entertain. You watch it rise, and you watch it pass. You remain steady. You remain free. This is the real victory, not controlling others, but mastering yourself. One beautiful practice that helps is to remind yourself, this moment is a test of my character. When someone provokes you, when life challenges you, see it as an opportunity to practice patience, forgiveness, and wisdom. Every situation becomes a training ground for your soul. Instead of seeing difficulties as problems, you see them as chances to grow stronger. You become like a warrior of peace, calmly facing whatever life brings. Each time you respond with calm instead of anger, you are building inner strength. You are proving to yourself that you are not controlled by external events. You are controlled by your inner values, your commitment to peace. Another deep realization comes when you understand that people are doing the best they can with the knowledge, tools, and consciousness they have at that moment. You might wish they acted differently. You might think they should know better. But the truth is, if they could act better, they would. Everyone is at a different stage of growth. Some are trapped in fear, ignorance, or deep pain. Expecting them to behave like enlightened beings only sets you up for frustration. When you accept people as they are, without demanding that they meet your standards, you liberate yourself. You are no longer dependent on others' behavior for your happiness. Forgiveness also plays a major role. Forgiveness does not mean you approve of wrong actions. It means you choose to free yourself from carrying the poison of resentment. Anger often lingers because we hold grudges, replaying the hurt in our minds, fueling the fire. But forgiveness is like a cool rain that puts out the fire. You forgive not for their sake, but for your own peace. You forgive because you deserve to be free. Sometimes you may have to forgive silently, even without an apology. You let go of the anger not because they earned it, but because you refuse to let their actions define your inner world. It's also important to build strong boundaries. Being calm and forgiving does not mean allowing disrespect or mistreatment. You can say no firmly and respectfully. You can walk away from toxic situations. Stoicism is not about being passive, it's about being wise. You choose where to invest your time and energy. You protect your peace not by fighting everyone who challenges it, but by walking your path with clarity, strength, and grace. Boundaries are acts of self-respect. When you respect yourself, others are more likely to respect you as well. Over time, you realize that anger rarely solves anything. It often makes problems worse. It damages relationships. It clouds your judgment. It leaves you feeling drained. When you stay calm, you respond more intelligently. You can address problems with a clear mind. You can speak your truth without shouting. You can make decisions based on wisdom, not wounded pride. You become someone people trust, someone people feel safe around. Calmness becomes your superpower. You are no longer a slave to every emotion that passes through you. You are the captain of your soul. In the end, the art of never getting angry at anyone is really about choosing a different way to live. It's choosing to value peace over pride, understanding over judgment, forgiveness over resentment. It's deciding, again and again, that nothing outside of you is worth more than the peace inside you. It's knowing that you cannot control the actions of others, but you can always control the way you respond. And in that choice lies your freedom. When you live this way, you are no longer tossed around by every little thing. You move through life like a calm river, steady and deep. You encounter storms, but you do not become the storm. You meet chaos, but you do not become chaotic. You face anger, but you do not become angry. You stay true to yourself, anchored in your values, unshakable in your peace. This is the real mastery. This is the real art. And every day, with every breath, you can choose to walk this path. You can choose peace. You can choose freedom. You can choose to master the art of never getting angry at anyone. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Stoic Vibe. Remember, true strength is not in how loudly we shout or how hard we fight. It's in how calmly we carry ourselves, no matter what the world throws at us. Every day, you have a choice: anger or peace, reaction or wisdom. Choose peace. Choose to be unshakable. If you found value in today's message, make sure to subscribe for more calm, powerful insights. Stay steady, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.